Nothing.
Yeah. And I don't think the
Right.
degrees get shit on because it's black women. I think degrees as a whole was shown to be as a whole out of everybody in the population white, like it's like there was like a study they're saying white men are divesting from actually going to college and getting a degree because they don't see the benefit of it compared to just getting a trade whatnot. So
But
I don't that's why I don't think it's a black woman conversation, but I do agree with the fact that the argument is that black men need to go get education to kind of mirror that level because you're saying that it produces better successful families and a foundation for us
yeah, we're
as a
just
community.
looking at like the modus operandi.
Statistically,
Now
though.
I'm oh
Yeah.
sorry, Chief. I'm simply saying that
No,
I'm
you
not
good.
saying that they got it perfectly right. I'm saying that the method, the pursuance
The
of the
standard.
thing,
Yeah.
the standard of going to college, getting your degree, etc., is what we could be duplicative of, and then just pick the right fucking field so you have an actual yield
Right.
from your work.
And that's the
So
I think that's the part that
Black
needs to
America,
be
after Chief go,
highlighted.
you got it, and then we'll get Mr. Fantastic.
okay.
Yeah, the part that I think the part that I was highlighting and the reason why I think you're seeing it now is black women are meeting the standard or the criteria to meet said standard. But whenever it's being brought up, it's not even almost, it's being used to say you didn't meet it well enough. But it's very easy to criticize somebody that turned in homework and said, you got an F and you didn't turn anything in at all. And that should be criticized. Like why are we criticizing people that turn something in? Right? It may not have been the perfect, project, the perfect science work, but what did you turn? Did you turn anything in? You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I've seen is like whatever measurement we come up with, even if black women meet it, is going to be scrutinized and go, well, it didn't. I mean, you met it, but like, did you really? And it's like, well, yeah, they did meet it. Now, whether or not they did it in a way that we would all agree is the most successful is another thing. But they're already showing signs of willing to do that. Hamp, you talked about this too. Would you rather put somebody in that you know is willing to do the work and already show signs of doing work on the football field, or somebody that's just super talented?
The worker.
Why? Because it's already been shown to be there.
Yeah, that's one thing I always say regarding that is potential to get you fired. A
You see,
motherfucker who you swear is supposed to be, you know what I mean, right? And he don't become that. It's all based off his
versus
potential. For somebody who is a
versus
proven
the person
commodity. Yeah.
And sorry,
versus the
I just
person
want
that's doing the work, and that's a part of every single
to.
drill. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference, and I think the criticism for that difference, especially when the standard isn't being met on one side or on a lesser percentage wise, I think we should reevaluate that a
No,
little bit.
I do have a genuine question, real quick. It'll be really quick.
Well,
Is
no, it's not quick. Hold
Only
on,
if
no,
Black
let Black
America
America go.
let them go real quick. Just hold the question if it's
Oh,
a
all
question.
right. All right. So my thing is, I love what Lee said, right, about the women going to college and getting degrees. Big up to the women that are going and putting in the work, showing the dedication. My thing is, if we look at the BLS, men, black men, it's 200,000 more black men still making more money than black women in the upper echelons, right? So what do we go to school for? We go to school to get these degrees and things like that for an end goal. And if those end goals, if they are the most educated, it should actually show on paper. If you have somebody who is a business owner, and I claim my income to be $92,000 a year because of what I actually pay myself versus what I actually make. You have talked about this, your net versus your growth. It your gross. These things are these things are actually shown. So, like I said, nobody's hating on them, Lee. Nobody's hating on these women and what they're doing. We're just saying what things are actually shown. So, and that's all I got to say. Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic.
Yo, shout out to everybody. So yeah, I got to be the bad guy as usual. Um, why are we celebrating black women for shit that no other woman gets celebrated for? We don't. Asians aren't talking about all this shit and trying to big up the women in the Asian community. White people aren't doing it. Hispanics aren't even doing it. The reason we keep having this fucking conversation is because, again, y'all keep running from this. Black women stepped out here and used fucking education as a whipping stick to black men to show inadequacy and make excuses. Shout out to Black America. If 200,000 more of the highest earners, we're outpacing them, what's the fucking point of your degree? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic, you may have missed it, right? And so that they keep on trying to have the same conversation and kind of maybe just not comprehending what I'm saying. So I'll say it for the 5th time, right? Because I heard this shit a million times before. I mean, Black America ain't say nothing impressive.
Celebrating it.
I heard that a million times, right?
I'm
saying
that.
this. Well, this is what I'm saying to make sure that you addressing what the premise of the conversation is. There's metrics of success, right? Home ownership, entrepreneurship, education. You know, those are things that people aspire to, and when people do good in those things, people will deem that person successful. I'm saying that black women do these things more than us, right? And I know we can parse through the LLC versus the sole proprietorship, you know, and I'm including degrees or certifications, because you remember when we looked at it, how we were super low on certifications, surprisingly. So I'm saying,
compared to other men,
compared to other men. So I'm saying, look at how they're trying to do these things at higher rates than us. If we adopt, and we also deem home ownership, entrepreneurship, education success metrics as well. So I'm saying, hey, they got the right, they're in the right metrics. They just making the wrong decisions while pursuing those metrics.
And that's the point here. They're purposely doing it for individualistic, for the sake of what you guys are talking about. Black women don't want what y'all say. They don't want this shit. They want to literally do everything on their own. I can do bad all by myself, strong, independent, all this bullshit. They don't want a family. They don't want to be married. They don't want to do anything with the black man. Black men want to get out here and say, hey, we're doing good. Fuck you niggas. It's been said. It's been said, hell. Black women, remember, we covered this. I covered this. Black women, them $300,000 that everybody was crying about or whatever, they recovered those jobs and added 30,000 more jobs. Meanwhile, black men lost another 500,000 or whatever it was in 3 months, and nobody said nothing about it. No one cared. The problem is this promotion of the black woman and doing the shit that she's not doing shit special. She's not doing shit special. You compare her, just like y'all always say, oh, you niggas ain't doing shit. It's the same for black women. If we compare black women to fucking whites and Asians, it's the same shit. So why do we shit on us? Hold on. Why do we shit on us? You niggas ain't doing shit. You niggas need to do better. Okay, so let's do the fucking 1 for 1. Compare black women to fucking Asian and fucking and white women, and they're in the same fucking boat. The only people they beating is motherfucking. Only people they beating are fucking Hispanics and Native Americans. So this is what frustrates me, bro. And it's to the point of where we get disqualified regardless. And the reason why I was talking about what Black America said is, despite the lack of degrees and despite all this other shit they say they got, we're still doing better than the fucking women are, just like every other man group is. That's the point.
Yeah.
Twice, young women are twice as likely to buy fucking homes than single women are twice as likely to buy homes than single men across the board. Why the fuck are we celebrating some shit that black women are doing that's the standard across the board? We're the only group of men that have to fucking point out, oh, they're doing so great. No, the fuck they're not. They're doing the fucking status quo. It's nothing special. But if you say that, oh, you hating. No, I'm not fucking hating. I'm looking at the fucking stats. I'm looking across the board. And if you're going to shit on me, you shit on them.
Here's what I'm saying.
This is why we can't get nowhere.
We looking at this thing. We ain't in the same situations. 2053 don't just apply to black women. So what you're talking about is family. But we speak against family quite often, right? So I know that ain't what we saying what they doing on is predicated on, because we don't give a fuck about no family either. But I'm saying this. There is a rubric to success. And the women in regards to that rubric are subscribing to that rubric at higher rates than we are. I'm talking about us as black men, not to mention we have 2053 on the rise. So even if the metric is the same across the board, I'm talking about the shit conundrum that we in. And I'm saying, do we recognize the fact that they are owning homes and starting businesses and going to school and say, hey, maybe us as black men need to make sure we lean more into that. Even if they doing it wrong, it's the right rubric.
Can I say 15 seconds?
No. You go. No, hold on, back America. You can't do that, Hamp. No, Hamp. If you run the fucking wrong route on the fucking field, what you doing? If you get on the field and you keep running the fucking wrong route, what's gonna happen to that player, Hamp?
He gonna get set down.
All right, then. So why are we making?
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it is. They're on the field, but they're making the wrong fucking route. This shit that y'all are saying, to where we want to give them credit for just doing some shit. When the shit isn't fruitful, it's counterproductive.
You're not listening.
But they're running a better route.
You're not listening, Mr. Fantastic. You're not listening. I'm saying that there is a metric, okay? Education being one of them. This is what's actually happening. She's running the 5 and out, but she's jogging the out. We understand that when you run your 5 and you go break to the out, you got to 4-5 that shit to the sideline, or else the corner gonna jump that bitch and take it to the crib. She don't understand that you gotta run that stem as hard as you can, right? So now that we understand, okay, right game, you on the right track, but you picking the wrong degrees though. I'm saying that look at that metric and lean into that.
I got you. So again. Once you get into the upper, everything outside of, I think it's nursing, right? Outside of nursing, when black women are getting all these rest of these degrees and they refuse to get into STEM, this is what I'm saying, right? So again, when the black man goes, he does his thing, and he gets a degree or whatever.
Yeah.
Nigga, it's whatever need to do better. And if I going by what I was told, I think it's like a 7% difference between black men and black women in college attendance. Hamp.
What
percentage?
Big enough
gap? I think it's like 7%. It's like a 7% difference. So if we were to compare that of metrics between Asians and Asians and whites and whatever, would it be proportionally that different? Or again,
I have to look at it. I haven't looked at it. Yeah, I think it's like 7 or 10% different in education.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm pretty sure it's probably like that across the board.
But the volume number is small too.
But I'm saying, I got you. The volume is going to always be that, though. What I'm saying is, and this is what I'm saying, compare volume to volume, and that's like groups. Within like groups, what is the disparity, is what I'm saying. I understand that, because that eliminates the volume, because the volume is going to be the same, because you're comparing white to white, you're comparing Asian to Asian. We're not doing anything cross. So it'll be the same for us, right? And then what I'm saying, though, Ham, is, right, we are the only group of men that have to constantly fucking big up the women and have to constantly tell the fucking women good job. While at the same time, it's ain't can't don't want for niggas. Niggas ain't this, niggas ain't that, niggas can't, niggas won't, niggas don't. Niggas not doing enough, all right? And again, like I said, we look across the board, it's the same fucking difference. The men are outperforming the women where it counts the most. It's earning, net worth, all that shit. Having less kids, having much of the shit y'all keep talking about or whatever. And then we looking at the net, and it's like, okay, well, the black men are doing what they're doing, and of course it's gonna be a slow grind to increase. I'm with you, Hamp, on like niggas need to do better and faster. But if and when for the niggas that are doing good now, Hamp, they can't get credit.
See,
the niggas that's doing what you're supposed to do now, you can't. We can't get credit.
But see, that's
so.
not.
Well, go ahead.
This part, right? It wasn't even about bigging it up. It's saying the metrics that standardize that we usually deem successful, we see them have bigger numbers than us. So I'm simply saying, do we take that, acknowledge it, and lean into those things, right? You're saying there's other levels of metric. Oh damn, he dropped off. He'll be back. Go ahead, Black.
I gotta say something.
What?
Hell, so the major problem is the metrics that we or that you are using. The metrics for women are not the same as men. We're not even attracted to women for the same things. So the metrics of buying a house or education, those metrics don't matter for men. Our end goal for men, because the metric for a man, you're never going to get a woman I'm not going to use anybody. We'll say Donna, right? You're never going to get Donna as a woman to date a broke man, right? You're never going to get Donna
All he asked you
as a
was the
high class.
metrics for a man, and now you're talking about a woman. Is that the metrics for a
No,
man? Is being able to
no,
get Donna? Listen to
no,
what he's
no.
saying.
Yes, Lee. So what I'm saying is the metrics
No,
that
he
he's
asked
using in
you what are the
education.
metrics of a man? What are the metrics of a man? Go.
I can.
The metrics of a man is the amount of income we can obtain.
So
It
you just
doesn't
went back.
have anything to it that's the metrics for a man is the amount of income that you can obtain.
Hey, Black America, I
It
can clear it
doesn't
up too.
okay, go ahead.
I was trying to say this earlier, and I think, and I had to think about it because I was bringing myself as an example of how I was able to, obtain stuff without education. But the HAMP went back and said your military experience was your education. This was your. So this, and I think that's what you're also saying, Black America, is that the measures for a man is how we get our experience and then we obtain our knowledge and our path is not necessarily the same as women, and especially when we are more likely we're willing to do the hard stuff. So we're willing to, our education is going to be not necessarily the degree. We're going to do the hard stuff when it comes to doing trade schools and whatnot, and that's where our education and our experience comes from. So that's, and it's not being measured in the numbers when you're going straight degrees. So, and I
No, but
think if you want to balance it,
well, the reason why I have to interject now is because that's disingenuous. Because
That's
I've
not
been
it's
being
not
saying,
measured
just,
up.
it's not disingenuous.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've been
He was saying
saying certifications the
certifications.
entire time.
He been saying search the whole time. What y'all are doing are see, and this is what I mean by it gets frustrating because if you want to
Yes,
just
it
have a
does.
simple, if you just want to have a simple analytical conversation, there's nothing to debate at all. I just looked it up. It ain't no 7%, it's 33%. Bachelor degrees earned by black students, black women 64 to 67, black men 33 to 36. 2/3 goes to women.
What?
Yeah, but it's close, Cheeky. That's a percentage of 3 on one and like 8 on another. Those percentages are so close, they're
3?
nominal.
What you mean
They don't
3?
matter.
3
He said
what?
36 to 33%.
Could I
No, he
say?
said
Yeah, read it
65.
again, Cheeky.
I'm going to read what I put. Okay.
Yo,
I asked, do black women get more degrees than black men? Which means that you have to go to a 4-year, right,
what the
institution
fuck,
to
bro?
receive a degree. I asked about what percentage among black or African American students in the United States, women earn a substantially larger share of college degrees than men. Approximate national breakdowns from recent National Center of Education Statistics and Higher Education data sets. Bachelor degrees earned by black students, black women, 64 to 67%. Black men, 33 to 36%. So roughly about 2 out of every 3 bachelor's degrees is earned by a black student or black woman.
So and what I was trying to say to
This
my
hold on,
now.
wait, let me finish.
That's
Graduate degrees. This gap is often even larger for master degrees, doctoral degrees, professional degrees. In some graduation programs, black women can represent around 70% or more of black degree recipients. What? So
It
again,
matters what degree it is, Cheeky.
no. You finish talking,
Come
and I don't
on,
See,
interrupt.
bro.
he
I don't
reverting.
interrupt
He
people.
reverting.
No. What we're gonna do is do this thing honestly. The average person, average westernized of success is education, which is tied into income. Typically, you don't separate the two. It's a home,
Yep.
and you can argue family. You can argue that. But the main things people care about is education, income, and home. And car. We'll throw car and home and car go together. Why are we saying that it's a different metric for men? No, it's not. Because guess
Because it's
what?
black women.
Men that get degrees, especially black men that get degrees, will tell you I'm the prize. I remember that was a thing some years ago. This dude was he was a graduate from Georgia Tech or whatever it was, and he was talking big shit on IG saying I'm the prize. And guess who had a problem with it? Black women. But instead of being honest and saying we can't have an honest conversation when it comes to black men and women because we're just so opposed to each other because y'all hate each other. That's fine, but somebody's got to be honest enough to say these standards, when given, black women check them off, or they lead in
Yeah,
that.
he was a law student. He was a law student. So again, I don't know.
Okay, so
Where you at, Miss
we're
Fantastic? I
saying
don't
the
see
same.
you.
We're saying the same thing. That's the point. The
Well,
point
no,
is,
we're not,
go ahead.
Hold on, Miss Fantastic. Hold
no,
on. They can't see you
no,
yet. They can't see you.
no.
Oh, we can't see you.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Hold on. You want to pull them up
am
first,
I
or
good
you want
now?
them to go ahead and go?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Fantastic.
Well, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
so no,
fantastic.
yeah, he's a law student. CJ King. So, Chief, still, this is what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right? And I don't know, maybe it was attendance I'm looking at. I don't know, maybe it's attendance compared to degrees. So clearly, that's a gap, right? That's a huge gap. Like you said, that's damn near 75%, 75 to 25, damn near. That's what I'll say, right? Cool, fine. The problem with it, though, Cheeky, is if that's the case, still, and then further, it actually helps the opposite point. If you have a 75% difference in fucking degrees, Cheeky, and even higher at the master's level, okay, in higher education, how is it that black men are still out earning black women? How is it? How is it that black
I
men
can answer
still
that.
have okay, go ahead.
yeah. Let him finish.
Enlighten me.
I'm trying to hear his argument.
Enlighten me.
It's just one word, brother. Time. Time. In
What?
time, time. Because as the time, because if I ask you, right, because somebody said that this is usually on paper, right? The stats show that we earn more than them, right? But the stats are usually of the past, brother. Usually when we speak of the stats, we talking about the history. As time
No.
goes on, just like I believe the black man, as time goes on, starts the stats that they used to that make us bad will start to diminish, and the stats that make us good will start to rise because of time, right? We get better in time, and we're getting better in time. That's why that looks like that, and it's supposed to. We're still the men. We should make more than them, right? Overall, because it's still a man's world, right? So it's time. That's all it is. In 30 years, those numbers will be way different.
No.
And hey, if we don't get in that education system and start catching up with them,
No.
So
No.
real
Wait,
quick.
wait,
So
So
wait,
Mr.
wait. That's not
Fantastic.
his point. Wait. Can I address his point? Because I get what his
Yeah.
point is, and his point makes sense. His point is if they're excelling at such a high rate and level, in the percentage or in the area of education, then there should be a larger gap between the male salary and the female salary. Right, the women should be taking it bar none, and I would agree. But the only
You're
reason,
not
let me
listening,
finish.
man.
No, I am listening. You're just not. You gotta finish. Let me finish.
25
I got
years is not enough time for
Lee,
them to
Lee,
like
Lee,
outgap
Lee,
men, man.
Lee,
That's not true
Let
though,
Lee,
him
man.
Lee.
let
Let
That's
me
him
not true,
finish.
and that's
let him
disingenuous.
reply.
Lee, you have to let me finish the point.
I
The
understand that,
point.
but the first thing that he
Let me
said,
finish.
Hamp, was that
Let me finish the point. You're not. I didn't finish addressing it. I would agree that is the case. But the point that Hamp was mentioning was if you take away the bottom half of the women that aggregate the average, then you'll find something very interesting. Here's what I asked. Chat GPT. Now,
Cheek.
you guys
Real quick.
do
Pause. Just
educate. Go
pause.
ahead. Go
Pause
ahead.
right there, real quick. So, Mr.
Go
Fantastic,
ahead.
Devin said something similar. I was mentioning the wage gap debunking, right? You know how they work part-time jobs, the lack of availability, they work the low-end retail jobs, minimum wage. I said, well, that makes sense. If that debunks the wage gap, then that also speaks towards these averages and not seeing the incremental difference. But Cheeky, what do you have to read?
So what I looked up was, do educated black women on average make more than black men without degrees? Yes. On average, in the United States, black women with college degrees generally earn more than black men who do not have college degrees. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and U.S. Census Bureau consistently show that education strongly increases earning across all racial groups. For example, on average, a black woman with a bachelor's degree typically earns substantially more than a black man with only a high school diploma, a black man without a degree, a black man with some college but no completed degree. However, there are some important nuances. This is the fair conversation. This is the fair part of it. The nuance will be skilled trades and entrepreneurship. This is how you counteract that. But based off of what Hamp said, there ain't that many black men with those either, correct? Or am I misrepresenting that?
Yeah, Miss Fantastic and I were surprised at how low the percentage was. I think we were at like 5% or something low like that.
Okay,
But,
so
but we still
so
make
even
more than the
hold on, let me
women.
finish. Even with that being the
Dang,
case, Hamp,
comprehension.
here are the counters that can
Keep going back
offshoot
to that.
an educated black woman. Some black men without degrees can still earn high incomes through trucking and logistics, construction, real estate, entrepreneurship, tech certifications, skilled trades, sales. So individual outcomes vary widely. But what we know based off of the information you and Fantastic so greatly provided for us, not for the sake of to shit on nobody or just to big somebody up, just to have an honest conversation, we're not getting those either. So there is a way to offset that, and there is a way to make more money than black women that are educated. But by and large, most men are not doing that. And if you take away the bottom half of black women without education and degree, and you take away the top half of black men that may have it, you'll find out educated women are doing better than the average man without a degree. That's what this is telling us.
I
Yeah, but
think
why would you do why would you cross it versus do the same? It would be the same metric cheeking. It would stay the same. If you took away the bottom half of black male earners too, it would still be the same. Is what I'm saying. You can't cherry pick that way. You can't say, oh well, let's take away the top half on the man side and take away the bottom half on the woman side. No, you do the same. You do like for like. And if you do the same in the fuck for black men and black women, regardless of how you do it, bottom for bottom or top for top or whatever, the thing is going to come out to be the same. The issue and the problem again, and what I'm seeing here is black women are doing the status quo. They're not doing anything special. If you want to say that's being successful, cool, fine. They're successful by the standard across the board. They're women in other groups are doing the same thing at greater numbers. Clearly,
I
right?
found sorry.
So
No, I
so
So
was
we
so why do we have to go through and parse through and say how much better the women are doing than the men? And then let me address this least point. Lee, you're wrong. 25 years is more than enough time, bro, to assess any type of pay gap or so on and so forth, especially when in 2000 there were more black men in prison than were in motherfucking in college. Okay, we're 25 years removed of black men even getting into higher education at all. So it still remains, and it isn't that, and degrees are becoming um less valuable because you got the introduction of AI. So the thing you're talking about 30 years from now is never going to come unless black women switch over to degrees in motherfucking STEM and tech, which
yeah.
they're not, which they
Which
don't
they
do,
will.
which they don't do. No, no, they
Which
won't. They
wait,
don't.
I
so
mean, well, knock on
wait,
wood,
hold on,
knock
wait,
on
wait,
wood.
wait,
Let me
wait,
knock
wait.
on the wood.
Do
Let me
we
say this though. Let
understand
me
why
just say
that?
this real quick to what he
Go
said
ahead,
about
go ahead, go
the
ahead.
25 years. I just want to say that I'm saying to gap men, like like we've all had success, right? As the 25 years shows that we all got better. The black men got better. The black women got better. I'm saying to overlap your men would take, I don't know how long that would take. That's like saying how long would it take for white women to overlap their men? That shit is going to take. But to see their progress of them going to school, it's it's gradually growing. That's all I'm saying, brother. That's all I was saying.
So Ham,
Yes.
can we address why I would say get rid of the bottom half of women? Right.
Yes.
The reason why I say that is because the average black man thinks that educated black woman, he makes more than her. And he'll use the average, which is an aggregate of both the top and the bottom, to make a conclusion about his standing against somebody educated. When we shouldn't do that, we should only use the section of education or educated women and compare that to what that person is. For example, not so solid, or who was it? Not so solid says he works 80 hours a week, and he say I make more than an educated black woman. So my stance would be okay, instead of doing the average of all women or the average income of women generally, let's exclude the bottom half of women and just deal with the ones that you say you make more than, which will be the educated half, right?
Yeah.